From Kash in Turkey. My name is Anna from Kaluna Freediving, and this is another episode of Freediving Tribe. Today I'm welcoming Marianna. She's a professional freediving athlete since many years. I know her from my training times last year with Stavros in Kalamata, Greece, and I'm very excited getting to know more about her freediving career and her biggest last achievements in the AIDA World Championship. Hello, Marianna.
Hello, everybody. My name is Marianna Gillespie. I currently compete for France. My latest achievements is 2 gold medals in the AIDA World Championship in constant weight and in the bifins, bronze medal in free immersion and silver in no fins, and the Molchanova Prize as an overall best athlete on the World Championship. Plus, yesterday...
Never stops.
Plus, yesterday I got a silver medal here for CIMA's Depth World Championship, diving to 103 meters with monofin.
Wow, these are very big achievements. You can be so proud of you. Having the nerves to compete the AIDA World Championship, coming here without much of training and just getting back into the water and just doing it. So I really followed your dive as well, and looks very beautiful, very calm, very stable, very happy. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Yesterday I had a super nice dive. I was very relaxed and I just didn't care what I'm doing, so I just went for it and I got it.
That are always the best ones, I guess.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your training routine.
So over the last 2 years, since we got the COVID, I wasn't able to train in the pool because usually in winter I would train in the pool and I would do some dynamic no fin, some static, take part in the competitions in the pool as well, but not during the last 2 winters. So really this winter I was not doing much because I don't like dry static.
Who does?
So I was doing maybe some conditioning training just on land with my own weight, not even in the gym. Just like simple squats and like stuff like that, not on the breath hold. Because I don't like to suffer. And then we started training in the sea once a week in February. And we would do 45, 50 meters maximum because the boats were prohibited due to COVID and we could only go from the shore and we had 50 meters max.
Okay, wow. And probably the water was still a bit colder than?
Yeah, the water was 16, 17 degrees.
All right.
That's why I didn't want to go more than once a week. But in reality, that was okay because we kind of started training really in end of April, beginning of May. And then by end of June, I already performed 90 meters in constant weight, 91. During the French championship in Nice.
Okay. You've been also to Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so you know Nice very well from your competition times in the past? Or?
I've been there a couple of times, yes. I've been there in 2019 for the World Championship.
Exactly.
Where I also got a bunch of medals. But 19 I got 2 silvers and 1 gold.
Wow.
And the Molchanova.
And also the overall prize.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah, I mean, Nice is quite hard conditions, which can change quickly. But now after Cyprus, I don't know what's even harder.
Yeah, you're right. We had quite some current and waves, and there's also a little bit of a thermocline.
I mean, waves are okay. It's
Yeah.
the current, which is a big surprise.
Yeah, true. So you're competing since when? How did it all start for you?
I'm competing since 2012.
Wow.
So in the beginning of January, I decided that I want to compete in freediving. I knew about freediving for some time. I think first I heard about it in 2008. I was back then in their students' club for scuba diving, and we were training in the pool, and like sometimes we were waiting for equipment, just swimming and like doing nothing. And one of the guys who was there in the club, he just passed the freediving course in the pool, because I was living back in Moscow, and there we just had pools. And he said, yeah, this is this thing called freediving. You just inhale and you swim underwater. And he said, okay, can you do one lap, which was 25 meters. So I had no fins, no weight. I didn't know how to inhale properly. He just told me, yeah, do like this. And you go. So I did 3 laps, which was 75 meters.
Wow.
And he told me, can you teach me?
Awesome.
But the thing that before I was a swimmer. So I had a swimming technique. It was not a problem for me. And yeah, I kind of started reading in 2018 about freediving, watching all these videos with Guillaume Neri, with all these famous old clips that we could see online. And then, yeah, in 2012, I thought I want to start competing. So I came also to the pool. I think I did like a month of training in the pool. And I did 107 no-fins on my first competition. And I won it. Nice. And I thought, I like the sport.
Of course.
I stay.
That's so super successful from the beginning on. That's really beautiful. Yeah. And what was your first experience in the ocean freediving? Because when you come from the pool, when your background is a swimmer, so you were quite confident in what you do. So this is kind of your second home, to be in this area of swimming pool and things like that. And how was it?
Actually, it's quite interesting because I'm quite afraid of the open water.
Okay.
Which it sounds a bit crazy because I dived to whatever crazy depth, but yeah, I don't feel comfortable of swimming myself far from the shore. I would never go. I would never even go, I don't know, to a lake or somewhere where you don't really see what's happening around. No, never. But I started, fortunately, the sea practice. We went to Egypt, so it was the Red Sea. Was my first freediving experience, and we had a liveaboard in the south of the Red Sea. So there were dolphins, there were the coral reefs.
Beautiful.
It was very nice. Yeah, it was really good.
Nice. Great. Yeah, and what always is very, very interesting for everybody to see you here, so natural, and I would say you are really like a natural talent, and you're also a person who I find very humble. Like, you don't talk much about yourself. There's never so much publicity, I would say, around you, also in the AIDA World Championship, but you're really diving to very nice depth and have a lot of experience. So I find this very, very nice about you, actually.
Well, now there is publicity about me. The thing was... The thing was...
Here's a fan.
The thing was that before I was competing for Russia, and the thing in Russia is that there's not much news which have been produced about freediving in general, because there's a certain situation about the news in Russia.
Yeah.
And so obviously nobody really had news about freediving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, only like a couple of years ago it changed.
Mm-hmm.
I think thanks to Alexei, because he did all these records and they cannot not speak about him.
Yeah.
But in general, nah,
Nothing.
nobody speaks about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I changed for France, and there I started getting into all the media.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Ah, nice.
But yeah, in reality, I think that this Soviet education that I have, I think, I don't know, we're all very humble and nobody really speaks about, yeah, that's me, here am I. You see what I mean?
Yes, yes, true. Okay, yes. So we are here from Kaluna Freediving. You can also follow us on our YouTube channel that we're doing this Freediving Tribe episode with. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about how do you sustain your sport. You have some sponsors, and I see you training a lot with Stavros in Kalamata, which I find is a very beautiful place in Earth, I would say, like on Earth. You have amazing depths, you have a nice infrastructure, good people, good diving school.
Yeah, I have a couple of sponsors. So I'm sponsored by their Swiss company of watches, which is called Edox, and also by their company based in Luxembourg for food supplements called Super Smart. And I'm sponsored by FCG, Freediving Club Greece, where I train. And yeah, it's true that the conditions in Kalamata are really good and they're really stable. And I would say that was one of the things why I did progress this year. Just because the conditions there are so stable that you don't need to think about, would I have current tomorrow, would it be wavy, you just go and it's always the same.
Mm-hmm. Wow, and you say pretty much up from February, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's really amazing.
No, there you can train the whole year round, really.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of suit would you wear in February? Like 3 mil, 5 mil? 5. Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I'm training in the lake, so we also wear 5 mil,
I think
but it's much colder.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I follow you also on Instagram, so it's your name on Instagram, right?
Yeah,
Or how
Marianna
can we?
Gillespie.
Exactly, Marianna Gillespie, and also on Facebook. And there I see sometimes beautiful pictures of you modeling as well. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, I do some modeling and underwater modeling. Um, the biggest project probably that I took part in a movie which is called One Breath. It's a movie about Natalia Molchanova, which was done with the Russian production. And there I'm doubling their main actress, so all their underwater scenes that you see is basically me swimming there for the whole movie, because the movie is about freediving.
Nice. What is the movie's name again?
One Breath.
It's One Breath, so probably everybody saw it, but just to make sure if you want to look it up, it's actually Marianna sitting here just next to me. Swimming beautiful, as always. Nice. And yeah, and I think that's it then. It's a really short interview for the competition. I see you now here in SEMA, for the SEMA's World Championship. And maybe one interesting thing, you are really someone who is very experienced. So from the outside, it seems like you are really strong nerves, you are mentally a strong person. And do you have some strategies that you play for the competition? Like, for example, here or back in the AIDA competition, are you more like a conservative diver, or are you doing PBs at the championships, or what is your approach?
Well, it's hard to say, because in reality I'm a really conservative diver, but I look at the conditions and then I really ask myself what would be the comfortable thing for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it is a PB, but if it's a comfortable PB, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Because like the dive yesterday, I did 103. Before I did 102 in Kalamata.
Mm-hmm.
But that was more than a month ago. That was end of August, in fact. Then I did one more dive to 102 2 weeks later, so that was middle of September. And since then I didn't dive to this depth at all.
Okay.
So in fact, my dive yesterday was a PB. I wanted to go for 104, but then I thought, well, I would be probably more nervous if I put +2 instead of +1. So then I just put +1, and it was a totally easy dive. I even thought I should have put 104.
Of course. But it's so funny because we all know it doesn't make a difference. If you do 102, you do 103. If you do 103, you do 104. And that depth, the relative pressure is so low that the equalization would have brought you easily also to 104, I think. No, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But the number makes something with your mind.
Yeah, then you might be a bit nervous because you're thinking, oh, there's 2 meters. We don't know what happens there. But in general, in the Ida World Championship, the hardest for me was to announce. As the same as here, I mean, always at the competition, especially when it's the World Championship. Because there is a certain calculation in place, then from another hand you're thinking what's comfortable for me. But in there I announced really conservative, especially in constant weight. I knew that I don't need to go even for 100.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I just do an easy 98. And that'll be it, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And what are the most beautiful places you've been for freediving? Like not only training, but also training. Like, yeah. Do you know any?
I would say really the best place is the safari in the Red Sea. Because I've been a couple of times to the north, to the south. South is really good and really wild with all these corals. Because I've been to many places in, let's say, Indonesia, in the Caribbean, and their color of the corals, the color of the water is not the same. Like really in the Red Sea, I find is the best. I mean, not in the blue hole because there's too much sunscreen around.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, somewhere where there is like just the open sea.
Nice.
The best.
Yeah. And what do you do when you're not freediving? Like, is there any passion of yours that you still have besides freediving?
I do gardening.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's so beautiful.
I have my flowers on the balcony. No, I really enjoy gardening. I find it's really relaxing. And then you see the results.
Exactly. It's very honest and beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I think, yeah. Do you want to add something? Is there anything you want to say?
I don't know. Ask me, I'll answer.
No, I think we talked about many things, like training you as a free diver. You introduced yourself. Yeah, I think it's nice and short.
Okay, good.
Yeah, maybe just one thing for SEMA's World Championship. So yesterday we had the constant weight. Today we had a free immersion sessions where it was a little bit of a current today, I heard. Like, what are your plans for the next 2 disciplines? So we have next discipline is no fin, and then we finish with a bifin actually. So do you have any goals? So you want to participate in both of them?
I cannot tell you.
Yeah, sure, but more the, you know.
I'm kind of considering now what would be the plan.
Okay.
Because I can do both disciplines, but I need to well calculate where do I have a better chance for the medal.
Exactly. Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay, so it stays exciting for us to follow Marianna on her dives. And thank you so much for coming, for being here. In this beautiful place, so I can maybe show you a bit around. So we're having the ocean just there behind us. So we can really recommend Kash as a place of
super nice.
Of being. Okay, cool. So follow us also on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. It's Kaluna Freediving und hear this episode of Freediving Tribe. Bye!
Bye!